Hey guys, in the last couple of videos, we've talked a lot about how to set really good goals and how to set yourself up for success. Today, I want to talk to you about what are the four big pillars that you can really look at when you're talking about bettering your health and creating the body that you truly want. Now, we've talked about this a little bit when we talked about goal setting, but I just want to reiterate the fact that it's super important that for most people, you don't want to try to overhaul your entire life in one night. Instead, we want to look at each one of these pillars and kind of take small steps in each one, let those habits develop into a routine over time, and then when we're ready and we feel like that's really kind of adapted to our lifestyle, we make another small change. Again, I'm going to give some recommendations on like what the end goal for these pillars would be, but I do not expect you to implement them overnight. We want to really start to think about, okay, what are the small steps I can take along this journey to get me to that target? So, the four pillars that I really think that most people should focus on when they're trying to better their health or create their dream body or whatever their health and fitness goal may be are nutrition. And the kind of big overarching target for that is that we're trying to aim for at least 80% of our caloric intake coming from whole natural foods, meaning foods that are very minimally or not processed at all, things that have one or two ingredients. You know exactly what they are, they can be found in nature. The next thing is exercise. We want to build a routine that consists of 2 to 4 hours of strength training per week. This is going to vary a little bit from person to person with their goal, but I think aiming for that minimum of 2 hours really sets a great foundation for just a really healthy lifestyle in general without going over the top and having to dedicate your entire life to strength training. The third thing is recovery, and the focus of the recovery section really is going to be on sleep. Now, there are other smaller habits and things you can do for recovery and stress management and things like that, but the biggest lever you can pull is sleep, and we want to aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. So, working towards that is super important. And then the last thing that really sets sets a base for having a strong and healthy body is just daily activity and movement. So this is separate from exercise. This isn't like intensive by any means, but things like walking. And so the target that I like to set for this is just 30 to 60 minutes of designated walking per day. This doesn't have to be all at once, but it's just getting you moving throughout the day more often. And now that we've defined what the four pillars and those targets are, it's important to do some self-reflection, kind of looking at what the target is versus where you're currently at so that you can establish what the first steps are in each one of those pillars that's going to set you up for success. Looking at things like, I'm going to cook one meal a day out of whole natural foods. I am going to walk for 10 minutes after one meal a day. I'm going to go to the gym for 15 minutes twice a week. Or I am going to cut off screens 1 hour before I go to bed. Each of these things isn't necessarily changing your lifestyle dramatically, but they're moving you in the right direction. And once those things become more routine and really kind of a staple in your life, then you can look at moving in that direction a little further. Again, it's about making the small steps that set you up for success and give you these wins. And then eventually those small steps roll into bigger and bigger steps that really get you to that target and that success that you're looking for long term. Again, I cannot stress it enough that you should not totally change your lifestyle overnight. You should be making small changes in each area or pillar that we've talked about and let those habits build into the bigger changes. When people try to change completely overnight, they tend to just burn out. It's not very sustainable. They feel like they haven't succeeded at all, and then they kind of just go back to doing what they're doing before. What we're really looking for is to make changes that are sustainable and that last. So you don't have to continually go through this process of setting a goal to get healthier, failing, waiting for New Year's, setting a goal to get healthier, failing, and so forth. So making sure that you really take some time and think about what those small steps are going to be and if they're sustainable for you. If they're not, you might need to dial back even further than you think. Again, little simple changes add up over time, so don't feel like you're not doing enough. What I want you to do, if you feel comfortable, is comment below on some of the changes that you're going to implement, or if you have any questions about things that you can try, feel free to comment and let me know. I appreciate you watching. Have a great day.